Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're getting in some reading and you're looking forward to the summer session. I know you can see my screen. I realize that it's right now when I'm recording this is about 7:30 at night, and so the glare shows a little bit more, but I mean, I can do this if you want and put my glasses off to the side. I'll do that. That'll look a lot better. Anyways, today's book is Women Talking by Miriam Toews. Yes, it is pronounced Toews, not Toes. So, FYI, if you're wondering, that's how you pronounce her last name. She is originally from Manitoba, from Steinbach, and I think right now she resides in New York. She resides in Toronto, at least as of the printing of this book. Anyways, I'll read you the summary, as I usually do. And you may have, there were some things I want to talk about after I do that, but I'll give you the synopsis first. And then, on a quiet June morning in 2009, August Depp sits alone in the hayloft of a barn, anxiously bent over his notebook. Soon, 8 women, ordinary grandmothers, mothers, and teenagers, will climb the ladder into the loft, and the day's true task will begin. This task will be both simple and subversive. August, like the women, is a traditional Mennonite, and he has been asked to record a secret conversation. So begins this spellbinding novel from award-winning writer Miriam Toews. Gradually, as we hear the women's vivid voices console, tease, admonish, regale, and debate each other, we piece together the reason for the gathering. They have 48 hours to make a life-altering choice on behalf of all the women and children in the colony. I really liked it. There were some aspects I didn't like. I can't really remember what they were, but I gave it a 4.5, which is, in my book, is a pretty high rating. I also listened to the audiobook when I was reading this. So this book is you hear from the narrator, August. Sorry. Sounds of Summer. So if you heard that, I'm sorry about that. I have a window open, so that's why. And that tends to be muttering by sometimes. So, yeah. So it's a really good book. I don't think she won an award for this book per se, but it was adapted into a screenplay a number of years ago, and you might remember that Sarah Polley, who wrote and directed the movie, won it, and you might recognize that name because she was on a book. She was in She was in a show called Road to Avonlea, which was called Avonlea in the States back in the early to mid 90s, and she played one of the titular characters. She plays Sarah Stanley, the stuck-up little cousin niece of relatives in Prince Edward Island. And yeah. Anyways, it's a really good book. And she adapted the screenplay and she won the Oscar that year. It was what? A year or two ago? Like, it wasn't that long. It's within the last few years. It's a really good movie. Not her first movie that she adapted, I should say. She also adapted Away From Her, which she adapted from the story The Bear Came Over the Mountain by Alice Munro, which I have not read. But anyways, this is a really good book. It is based on a true story, true facts. The author does mention that there's a note on the novel. So you're going into this, you know that this is based on a true story. And the true story is actually more horrific. This is just a reimagining of what she thought could happen. So I'm not saying that women left that colony, which was, I believe, was called Manitoba. Yeah. And you can search for the article. I could maybe see if I can find that article. I'm not sure where it was. I think it was the Atlantic. But there was an article based on this, and she took from that article, she spun a story. Yeah. I will read that actually. Okay, note on the novel. Between 2005 and 2009, in a remote Mennonite colony in Bolivia, named the Manitoba Colony after the province in Canada, many girls and women would wake in the morning feeling drowsy and in pain, their bodies bruised and bleeding, having been attacked in the night. The attacks were attributed to ghosts and demons. Some members of the community felt the women were being made to suffer by God or Satan as punishment for their sins. Many accused the women of lying for attention or to cover up adultery. Still others believed everything was the result of wild female imagination. Eventually, it was revealed that 8 men from the colony had been using an animal anesthetic to knock their victims unconscious and rape them. In 2011, these men were convicted in a Bolivian court and received lengthy prison sentences. In 2013, while the convicted men were still in jail, it was reported that similar assaults and other sexual abuses were continuing to take place in the colony. Women talking is both a reaction through fiction to these true life events and an act of female imagination. There are some Mennonite things that she does mention. She mentions 2 names of colonies in here. Mlachna and Korhitsa colony. Those were the names of the 2 main colonies in southern Russia. My mom's father was actually born in the Mlachna colony in 1925, so almost 100 years ago. It's actually about a little over a month before his birthday. Anyways, really good book. I've read this 3 times. I think the first time I was just absolutely stunned that this could actually happen. I would say stunned, but not exactly shocked. Having grown up in the Mennonite community myself, definitely even on a more, what would be considered a more, I don't know how to put it, maybe more enlightened, more egalitarian, maybe more modern for sure, because I look like everybody else. But yeah, I highly recommend this book. If you've got it's actually a relatively short book. If you've read any of her other books, she's read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She's written 7 other books up till this point. The reason she considered award winning is because when she wrote A Complicated Kindness, that actually won I think it was either the Giller or the Governor General's Award. I can't remember which one. When I read it, you'll know, because I have a copy, and that is on my to be read list anyways. So yeah, I highly recommend this book. There is some triggers in here. I don't really like putting triggers out, because that sort of kind of it kind of gives away the plot a bit. So I'll just say there are some triggers for sexual abuse. There are triggers for sexual abuse. I don't think there's actual exact description of what happened. But mainly it's about these women trying to figure out a way. Are they gonna stay? Are they gonna fight? Or are they gonna leave? Like, those are the 3 options. And that is what it's about, really. That's This whole book is, and I highly recommend it. A lot of people, I know, these ugly stickers on here. I have a copy. I think this was the paperback, the original paperback copy, which came out, this book came out in 2018, I believe. The movie came out in 2021, I think. I can't. Yeah, my edition is a 2019 edition. Ironically, I think most time I've read it once on my own, and once I have read it. The other 2 times I read it for book club. Yeah, that's just fun. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the ones I really have enjoyed in the last few years. Anyways, that is Women Talking by Miriam Toews. I hope you go and pick the book up somewhere, like either from a library or from a bookstore. And if you're going to pick it up from a bookstore, remember, I've got a bookshop.org site that you can pick this book up through. I can get a bit of a kickback if you live somewhere in the States. And if you like what you see and hear, please remember to like and subscribe and spread the word around. Share it with fellow book lovers. They may want to pick up this book as well at some point. Anyways, that is Women Talking by Miriam Toews. And I know, this last time I just noticed the love that it spells out on the cover. So yeah. Yeah, that's Women Talking by Miriam Toews. Find a copy. Hopefully you support me through the bookshop, my bookshop.org site, and I look forward to talking to you fairly soon. Have a good rest of the day, and bye for now.